Hi, my name is Kathy, and I am so excited that you're with me today. I want to go through and cover 5 main areas that I work with my clients to obtain stellar, amazing health. A little background on me: I've been a pharmacist for 20 years, and after 20 years of being a pharmacist and dispensing pills left and right, I honestly got so disenfranchised with how sick people were getting. People were getting sicker and sicker instead of getting healthier. And so I decided to get additional education in natural health, functional medicine, anti-aging, so that I can help clients really get to the root cause of their health issues and start to feel vibrant again, age slower, reduce chronic disease. So the first thing I want to talk about today is, especially if you want to lose weight, we have to think about trying to convert our metabolism to being a fat burner instead of a sugar burner. And what that really means is, when we eat dietary fat, that fat can be turned in from the liver, can be turned into ketones, and the ketones can be burned for energy or for fuel. Most of us are burning glucose or sugar for fuel, and honestly, it's not as clean of a burn. You don't get as much energy for the calories that you're intaking, and it's not as clean of a burn for us. It produces more toxins and makes it harder for our body to detoxify. So when we can convert our body to being a fat burner versus a sugar burner, there's so many benefits. Number one, when you don't have food in your system, you're burning body fat for fuel, which is awesome. It's more anti-inflammatory, and it allows our body to detoxify so much easier. One of the best ways to start doing this is to start moving over to a more ketogenic type diet. So that means eating a higher fat, moderate protein, and a lower carbohydrate diet. One of the best ways to start your day is to decrease your carbohydrates to little or none in the morning. So eating that big bowl of oatmeal or a big bowl of cereal or fruit is really doing you a lot of disservice, especially if you want really good true health. So eating either a low sugar smoothie or low fruit smoothie, I love eggs, omelets. Omelets are nice because you get the veggies in there with it, but eggs and turkey bacon once in a while. Eating these kind of things will not cause a rise in blood sugar, or a very much of a rise. When you eat the cereals or breads or oatmeal, you get a rise in blood sugar. Then insulin has to come in to lower the blood sugar, and in that process, guess what? Your blood sugar comes down, but your insulin takes longer to come down than the blood sugar. So guess what? You get that mid-morning snacky, hungry cravings. Well, that's one of the reasons why. It's because your insulin is still hanging up there a little bit higher, and your body's getting the signal, hey, we need some more sugar in here so we can deal with this insulin. And so immediately when you eat those things, you go right out of fat burning mode and right into fat storage mode. So do yourself a favor, decrease inflammation by changing what you eat for breakfast. Honestly, I personally don't even eat breakfast. I really have liked the whole bulletproof coffee concept, where you add coconut oil and butter to your coffee. That works for me. I don't need a lot of food in the morning. I produce a ton of energy. I'm burning body fat in the morning, and that really works well for me. I like to eat about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. It's more of an intermittent fasting type lifestyle, but having your body convert from burning sugar as its main fuel source to burning ketones from fat as your main fuel source will bring you a ton of health benefits. The second thing I like to work with clients on is toxin load. We are exposed to toxins so much every day, it's not even funny, right? We get toxins from what we're putting on our bodies, from the air, from water, from our food. There's, pesticides and stuff in food, or sprayed on food, and then we, eat it, and there you go. We're absorbing toxins from a lot of different areas. One way that we start out just right out of the gate with a pretty decent toxin load is from our mothers. We inherit a lot of lead and mercury, and actually when they test umbilical cord blood, they're finding like 300 to 400 different chemicals, and they're finding that almost 200 of those could be cancer causing. So our babies are starting out with the toxicity from the mom. And so that's just something to think about. It's another reason to start detoxifying your body, especially if you want to have children. And if you're past that, you want to detoxify your body so that your cells work and function a lot more optimally, because we have age is kind of against us, right? As we get older, things don't work as good. Well, the more toxins that we add to our bodies every day, day in and day out, it's just causing more sludge in our cells. Our cells aren't going to respond as good as they could, and we start getting disease. We start aging faster. We start gaining weight. So it's really super important to look at toxins. And I would definitely look at toxins if you have chronic diseases, autoimmune, heart disease, chronic headaches. If you have some, major things going on, toxins are probably causing a major role. And doctors aren't just testing for that. That's just not what they do. So do yourself a favor, look at toxins. The next big thing is I love to help people reduce inflammation. Inflammation is seriously the cause of like every illness. And what's important is to try to go through and figure out what's inflaming us, because it's different for everybody, right? I know for me, wheat inflames me big time. And I have a friend from high school that can drink beer like left and right. Doesn't inflame her a bit. Her skin looks really good. She's not overweight. So there's just a difference in the way some of our body chemistry works. And so if you can target and figure out and find what's causing inflammation for you, start eliminating those things, oh my goodness, your health is going to get so much better. And I think one of the neatest discoveries for me personally is when I started looking and living my life as, is this inflammatory to me or anti-inflammatory to me? I know it kind of sounds crazy, but that is when I started seeing the biggest results. And then a friend of mine posted a picture on Facebook of a bunch of us about 8 years ago. And when I saw the picture, I was like, oh my God, please take that down. That just freaked me out. But then when I put that picture right next to me, like recently, holy cow, I look younger. I'm so much thinner. I've lost so much inflammation, and I'm 8 years older. So it really, really is important to pay attention to what inflames you, because it could be different for you than even your relatives, right? Another really good thing about reducing inflammation and reducing toxins is because both of these contribute to turning on bad or negative genes. We all have genetics, some is good and some is bad. But what the kicker is are we turning on the good or are we turning on the bad genes? And for sure, heavy metals turn on bad genes. So does stress, just because there's so many chemical reactions going on. Inflammation can turn on bad genes. So the thing that's neat is with the new study of epigenetics, we're only about 10% or less bound to our genetic makeup. That means 90%, hey man, it just depends on how you're living your life and what you're doing. So if you have relatives that have diabetes, cancer, heart disease, you don't have to say, oh, well, I'm probably just going to get it and give in to that. You no longer have to do that. You know why? All you need to do is look at their lifestyle, see what they're doing, what's inflaming them, and don't do that, right? Live your life differently. Live it cleaner, live it healthier. Find out what works for you, seriously what works for you, and you are going to change your life. And you can. We don't have to be bound by our genetics anymore. That's just faulty thinking. I mean, we used to think that, but now it's like we're set free, which is awesome. The next thing I love to focus on is cellular regeneration. So, you get the toxins out, you start reducing inflammation, and now the next component is regenerating your cells. And to do that, we need to reduce inflammation, reduce toxins. But what the other thing we need to do is give our body some nutrients that it really needs to help that. And one of the main things is you need to eat healthy fats. For a long time, we were told, oh, eat unsaturated fats and make sure, that you eat low fat. Well, if anybody tells you to eat a low fat diet, go and walk out the door and keep going, because that is absolutely faulty information. And we know that. That's what's causing a lot of the disease, especially the heart disease, is eating low fat. Butter is actually really good for us. Coconut oil, another saturated fat, really good for us. And I honestly suggest eating 2 tablespoons a day of coconut oil, 2 tablespoons a day of butter. And then if you do decide to follow an anti-inflammatory and ketogenic type diet, make sure you add some really good sea salt to your diet, because you're going to lose salt easier just from the way the diet works, or that eating style. So add a couple of teaspoons of really good sea salt throughout your day. And actually, if you're using a really good like Himalayan or Celtic sea salt, it's like a supplement more than it's a salt. It's not going to raise your blood pressure or anything like that. Other things that you can do is exercise is really good for our cells, and it helps detoxify. And then there's some really cool things out there. There's pulsed electromagnetic frequency machines that you can find, really good for regenerating our mitochondria, which is basically like the power centers of our cells. You can do the vibration plates. Those are really good. You can alternate between a hot shower and a cold shower, or even take like a Nordic plunge, plunging into cold water and then getting out. Just even simple things like that can really kickstart your mitochondria. When we get the toxins out, the mitochondria can work so much better. And then you do things to help nutrify and stimulate, and your energy is going to go through the roof, and you're going to sleep better. And between those two things, your body's going to repair so much better. It's going to be amazing. The last thing that I really like to work on for sure is mindset and stress management. If our life is just out of control and just working us into the ground, well, we're going to wear out. We're going to wear out physically, mentally, emotionally. So it's good to slow down once in a while, and even if it's as simple as a heart-brain coherence, it's like stop for a minute and then think about your heart space. And as you're breathing, imagine yourself breathing through your heart and then out of your heart. And doing that for even 2 or 3 minutes a couple times a day, it puts your heart in sync with your head, and it will make a huge difference in your stress level. And what's interesting to me is even sometimes the simplest things, we won't do them. It has to be complicated or really hard or really expensive. It doesn't have to be that way always, right? Simply do a heart-brain coherence 5 or 10 minutes a day. Meditation is also really good. It gives us the opportunity to slow down, to feel our bodies, to get in touch, and to just literally slow down and relax. I recommend 10 to 15 minutes a day, and if you really get into it, 30 minutes to an hour. You will be amazed at what it will do for you. And we have to realize that we have to give back to ourselves first, often, before we can really give good to others, right? To really give our best in this world, to work and to produce the results that we want, to give our gifts in the world, we have to feel good. And to do that, we need a coherent brain and heart. We need a body that we feel that we are taking care of. We're giving it good nutrition. We're giving it good sleep. We're helping take the toxins out so that all of the channels are clear, the connections are good. It's so important to give to ourselves first, because most of us don't do that, especially if you're a mom or a parent. No, you're running, your job and the kids, the house, everything, and it's just not happening. But try to make it a priority. Carve out 10 or 15 minutes a day just for you, so that you're making sure that you have that time for yourself. So I'd like to offer you, if you have any questions, please, send me a note. You can find me on Facebook. I have an amazing detoxification program that will literally help take serious heavy metals, molds, toxins, viruses, you name it. It helps remove it from your body. You'll become more vibrant. You'll sleep better. You'll lose weight better. If you're looking for ways to really improve your health, improve your performance, contact me, because we need to talk. I hope you have enjoyed this. Implement all 5 of these areas and you will start seeing such great results. Thank you. I love you. Bye-bye.